cold wind whistles across Bucharest. The year is 1989, and in the heart of Romania, fear runs deeper than winter itself. For 24 years, one man has ruled this country with an iron fist, Nicolae Ceaușescu. On the surface, he looks unstoppable, a strong leader, the genius of the Carpathians, the man who dared to defy Moscow. But step inside Romania, and you see the truth. Food is scarce, shelves are empty, families queue for hours in the snow just for bread or sugar. In their homes, lights flicker out as power is cut to save energy. People freeze in their apartments while Ceaușescu lives in golden palaces. Why? Because Ceaușescu is obsessed with paying back billions in foreign debt, no matter the cost. So he exports almost everything the country produces, while his own people starve. And to make sure no one dares to complain, the secret police watch everything. Friends, neighbors, even family members might betray you. One whisper against the regime could mean prison, or worse. Yet for Ceaușescu, Romania is one giant theater. He builds massive rallies where citizens are forced to cheer and wave banners. The applause is deafening but fake, just another performance for the cameras. Still, cracks are starting to show. Across Eastern Europe, communist regimes are collapsing. The Berlin Wall has fallen. Czechoslovakia is free. In Poland, elections have ended one-party rule. And while Ceaușescu insists his grip is unshakable, change is moving closer to Romania's borders every day. And soon, the storm will reach him too. But not in Bucharest, not yet. It begins hundreds of miles away, in a city most of the world has never heard of, Timișoara. And in that city, one man's courage will ignite a revolution. December 1989. Snow covers the streets of Timișoara, a quiet city in western Romania. But beneath the cold silence, something is stirring. It begins with a priest, LSCLTKs. Unlike so many others, he refuses to stay silent. From his church, he dares to speak the truth, condemning Ceaușescu's regime, the hunger, the fear, the endless lies. His words spread quickly, and for the people of Timișoara, it feels like oxygen after years of suffocation. But the secret police won't allow defiance. Orders are given: remove him, arrest the priest. When officers arrive, something unexpected happens. Locals surround the church. Men, women, even students lock arms in the freezing air, shouting that they will not let him be taken. At first, it's just a few hundred, but soon, thousands flood the streets. And then the chants change. They are no longer just protecting a priest. They are shouting for freedom, for the end of Ceaușescu himself. Down with the dictator, they cry. For the first time in decades, Romanians openly defy their leader. The regime answers with fire. Soldiers march into the square. Tanks rumble down the boulevards. At first, people think it's only to intimidate, but then bullets tear through the night. Protesters fall where they stand. Snipers fire from rooftops. Parents searching for children are shot down. The streets of Timișoara run red, but the people do not stop. The more the soldiers kill, the louder the protests grow. Crowds swell to tens of thousands. Their courage spreads faster than fear. And though Ceaușescu censors try to hide the truth, whispers escape. Travelers carry the news to other cities. Phone calls spread it like wildfire. Soon, all of Romania knows Timișoara has risen. For Ceaușescu, this is disaster. But in his arrogance, he believes he can turn it into victory. He calls for a massive rally in Bucharest, to be broadcast live on national television, a performance to prove the people still love him. But that rally will not save him. It will be the biggest mistake of his life. December 21st, 1989, Palace Square, Bucharest. More than 50,000 people are packed shoulder to shoulder in the freezing cold. Many were pulled straight from schools and factories. Some have been standing for over 5 hours. All of them are waiting for one man. Nicolae, the dictator, has called this rally himself. It will be broadcast live on national television. His goal? To prove to Romania and the world that he is still loved, still feared, still untouchable. At noon, Ceaușescu steps out onto the balcony of the Central Committee building. He raises his hand. A roar of cheers erupts across the square. But something feels strange. The crowd below is silent, stiff, frozen. The sound is fake, a pre-recorded track blasting from loudspeakers. Still, Ceaușescu begins his speech. He thanks the heroic people, praises socialism, and promises a bright future. For a few moments, everything seems under control. And then something happens that Romania has never seen before. From somewhere deep in the crowd comes a noise, not applause, not cheers, but shouts, whistles, boos. The sound slices through the performance. Like a knife, the camera wobbles. Ceaușescu freezes mid-sentence, his eyes wide, his hand shaking. Alina, standing beside him, hisses, "Speak, promise them something." Ceaușescu stumbles forward, offering sudden wage increases, higher pensions, anything to calm them. But it's too late. The crowd knows it's all lies. The square erupts. Protesters push against the barriers. Screams echo off the walls. Soldiers try to force them back, but the dam has broken. Off camera, demonstrators surge toward the building. The cameraman, following strict orders, tilts the lens toward the sky so the nation won't see the chaos. But everyone watching at home already understands the spell is broken. For the first time in 24 years, Romanians see their leader not as a god, not as a genius, but as a frightened old man losing control. And outside, the chants grow louder. Down with Ceaușescu, down with the dictator. This rally was supposed to secure his power. Instead, it has lit the fuse of revolution. The rally has collapsed. Ceaușescu's carefully staged performance has fallen apart live on television. And now, the chants of freedom echo through Bucharest. Down with Ceaușescu, freedom, we want freedom. Inside the Central Committee building, the dictator is furious. To him, this is not a revolution, it's a provocation, a plot by enemies of the state. He gives the only order he knows: crush them. That night, December 21st, the capital becomes a war zone. Tanks roll across the boulevards. Soldiers open fire into the crowds. Protesters scatter, but bullets chase them down. Snipers fire from rooftops. Grenades explode in the streets. Bucharest drowns in chaos. Parents searching for their children are shot in the back. Students carrying flags are cut down where they stand. Makeshift barricades are set on fire. Blood stains the snow. By midnight, the city looks like a battlefield. The regime believes it has one. At dawn, fire hoses wash the streets clean of blood. And Ceaușescu, still in Bucharest, turns to Alina and sighs. It's over. Everything is normal again. But nothing is normal, and nothing is over. Because by morning, something incredible happens. Across the country, workers abandon their factories and march toward the capital. Columns of men and women, carrying banners and chanting freedom, flood the streets. And when the army is ordered to stop them, the unthinkable occurs. Soldiers refuse to fire. Some lowered their rifles. Others throw away their weapons and join the protesters. The tide of history has turned. For decades, Ceaușescu ruled through fear. But in a single day, the fear evaporates. His most loyal weapon, the army, has slipped from his hands. By the next morning, hundreds of thousands surround the Central Committee building. Their chants shake the very walls where Ceaușescu hides. Inside, the dictator scrambles to cling to power. But outside, the people know the truth. Romania has risen, and nothing can stop it now. December 22nd, 1989, Bucharest is boiling over. Hundreds of thousands now surround the Central Committee headquarters. Protesters smash through barriers, rushing inside. The chants of "Down with Ceaușescu" echo like thunder through the corridors. Inside, panic grips the dictator. For the first time in his life, Nicolae Ceaușescu is trapped. His most loyal party officials sit frozen, their faces drained of color. Ceaușescu barks the only command he can think of: bring the helicopter to the roof. With Alina at his side, trembling but still hurling insults at those around her, he is rushed up the stairwells by bodyguards. Protesters are only minutes behind. Doors splinter, windows shatter. Just as the mob reaches the top floors, the dictator steps onto the roof. The helicopter blades roar to life. Soldiers practically lift him and Alina aboard. And within seconds, they rise into the freezing sky. Below, the people of Bucharest pour into the building, but the man they've hunted has slipped away for now. From above, Ceaușescu stares down at the chaos. Smoke rises from burning barricades. Crowds fill every street. He clutches Alina's hand, convinced that loyal troops will soon rally to his side, but reality hits fast. The first stop is his luxury residence at phones ring. Ceaușescu demands reinforcements. The answer comes back cold. No one is coming. The army has switched sides. His power is gone. The pilot urges them to leave. They take off again, this time heading west toward, hoping to find a loyal garrison. But then a chilling message crackles over the radio. All flights are grounded. Any unauthorized aircraft will be shot down. The sky is no longer safe. The pilot is forced to land on a lonely road. Suddenly, the most powerful man in Romania is nothing more than a fugitive. With only 2 bodyguards, the Ceaușescu scramble into a passing car. The driver, a bicycle mechanic, reluctantly takes them toward Targovic. Crammed in the back seat, the couple listens in horror as the radio announces what they refuse to believe. The revolution has triumphed. The Ceaușescu regime is finished. They are soon led to an agricultural institute on the edge of town. Locked in a small room, they wait for rescue that will never come. Hours later, police storm the building. Nicolae and Alina Ceaușescu are no longer rulers. They are prisoners, and their final act is about to begin. Christmas Day, 1989. A gray morning inside a small military barracks. The once mighty Nicolae and Alina Ceaușescu are marched down a narrow corridor. Just days ago, they ruled Romania like royalty. Now, they are prisoners surrounded by armed soldiers who no longer salute them. The new government wants this finished quickly. Fighting still rages in parts of the capital. Loyalists may attempt a rescue. So, on December 25th, a special military tribunal is convened right here, inside the barracks. The charges are read aloud: genocide, destroying the economy, ordering the massacre of civilians, and attempting to flee with billions hidden abroad. The evidence is overwhelming, but Ceaușescu refuses to listen. He laughs, calling the court illegal. Alina snaps at the judges, cursing them as traitors. Neither shows regret, neither admits guilt, but the verdict is already decided. The trial lasts barely 2 hours. The sentence, death by firing squad, effective immediately. When guards try to tie their hands, the couple resists. Alina screams, "There is no need. We will not run," but the ropes are fastened anyway. Nicolae, calmer now, makes one last request to die beside his wife. The soldiers agree. They are led into the courtyard, where a brick wall waits. Snow crunches under their feet. The execution squad lines up, rifles raised. Alina hurls insults until the very last second. Nicolae, defiant to the end, begins singing the opening lines of the anthem of workers around the world, and then gunfire. Dozens of shots tear through the winter air. In seconds, the Ceaușescus are dead. The very next day, Romanian television broadcasts images of their lifeless bodies. For millions who had lived in fear, it is undeniable proof. The dictatorship is over. In May 1990, Romania holds its first free elections since 1937. Over the years, it joins NATO, enters the European Union, and begins to rebuild itself as a democracy. The fall of Nicolae and Alina Ceaușescu remains one of the most dramatic downfalls of the 20th century. A dictator who believed himself untouchable was toppled not by foreign armies, but by his own people, the ordinary men and women who stood up to fear and demanded freedom. And in just 1 week of December 1989, the people of Romania changed their destiny